From the outside, your life looks handled. People tell you, I don't know how you do it. And they tell others, she's got it together. She's the one who holds everything together. And they're not wrong. They're reading the room correctly. The house runs. People get cared for. Nothing has fallen apart. They just don't see inside of it, inside your life. And most days, there hasn't been a quiet enough minute for you to look either. Welcome to Below the Circle with Dr. Phyllis. I'm glad you're here. If this is your first time listening, this is a space for women who spend their lives caring for others, women who are ready to stop circling and start landing in their own lives. You're not behind, you're not too late, you're right on time. This is episode 154. And today I want to talk about two things that are both true at the same time, and how tiring it is to try to hold them together. Here is the first true thing. You are grateful for your life. You're not acting. You're actually grateful. You have people you love, work that means something. You've been given things you once asked for. And you would choose it again. If someone offered you the exit, the off-ramp, you wouldn't take it. That's real. Say that to yourself once. That is real. Because you're about to hear the other one, and I don't want to cancel out this true thing. Here is the second true thing. You're worn out. You're worn through. Not dramatically, not in the way anyone would notice. You get up, you go, you do it, but somewhere underneath it, underneath all of it, there's a tiredness that a good night's sleep doesn't touch. And you've decided quietly that you're not allowed to feel it. Because look at your life. Look at everything you have. What right do you have to be tired inside a life this good? And I'm doing air quotes. Good. You are allowed to be tired inside a life you are grateful for. Both of these things are true at once. Not one canceling out the other, both. And scripture even documented this long before any of us got here. I want to share with you from Proverbs 14, verse 13, reading from the New American Standard Bible. Even in laughter, the heart may be in pain, and the end of joy may be grief. That's not a warning. That's a description. Even in laughter, the heart can be carrying something. It's in the Bible because it's true and has been true for a very long time. So you're not the exception, and you're not being ungrateful. I can remember when, actually it was not too long ago, I was in full-time medical practice in leadership role, being the supervising physician for my department that had 7 divisions in it, married, kids running them around, volunteering in the community. And I can remember going to a meeting, our once a month meeting where all the physician department leads would meet up. And our medical director would talk about what was going on, and there'd be reporting and initiatives shared. And I can just remember at one of those meetings just going in to the room and just all at once just sitting there looking around and just feeling somehow really not there. Just looking almost as if people were talking around me, like the old Charlie Brown cartoons where they have the adults talking in this like these like inaudible kind of words, like wah, 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 right? And I could just sit there going, I just sit there looking at everyone like, did anyone feel like me, like tired and worn out? Because I had wanted this position. I had actually had to work very hard to get this position. And I felt I was making a difference. And I also was trying to be a good wife, a good mom, volunteer, a good daughter. And from the outside, people would comment on how resilient I was, how, they just couldn't believe all the things I was managing, and how, you know, I was doing a good job. And yet, at that moment, I felt like I had achieved what I wanted to achieve. I felt I was making a difference. But then I also felt a very deep feeling of depletion and feeling somehow just separated from my life. And at that time, I really didn't have the language to really describe what was going on. I just knew that I seemed to be somewhere off to the side of what was going on. Like I was looking in on what was going on. Then the next thing I remember is what I came to understand and what I want to share with you. You are not tired because of your schedule. I know it. I know it looks like it's the schedule. But if it were the schedule, time off would fix it or make it better, or it would refresh you. So you've had some time off, I hope. You've had the vacation, the long weekend, the quiet Saturday. And when you came back to work, I know you had a feeling just like I did that day. It was still there, even after taking off. A day off empties your calendar, it doesn't empty you. Now, bear with me because I want to really bring this together. Because here's what you actually do all day, and nobody has ever named it out loud for you. You take in how everyone around you is doing. You walk into a room and you already know who's upset. You hear it in a voice on the phone before anybody says anything is wrong. You watch a face across a table and adjust before you're even conscious you're adjusting. You've done it since you were young. You're very good at it. It's part of why people trust you with the hardest things. Now, I want you to sit with that because you may say, Dr. Phyllis, but you just got finished saying, even in your own story, that you felt depleted. And I'm glad you are posing that question because the truth of the matter is you're so full of absorbing and attempting to manage that there's no space for you really to truly empty all that you're carrying, all that you're holding, all that you're absorbing. So there's no space for you really to breathe and refresh. And that's what was going on with me that day. All of that absorbing and caring and really trying to do good stuff and doing good stuff. Yet not having enough space to refresh and really deal with my own personal fatigue. And I believe that's true for you. So I want to say this again because this is how you and I are right there together. This is what we've done since we were young. This is what you've done since you were young. You're good at it. You're the go-to person. You are the reliable person. You have the biggest heart. You care. You know what people need. It's part of why people trust you with the hardest things. And the thing of it is, you do a lot of picking up, right? You pick up responsibilities, you pick up burdens, and you never set any of it down. It comes in all day at work, at home, in the car, at the appointment, the grocery line, and none of it goes away. Doesn't go anywhere. It just accumulates. And since that's not a scheduling problem, that's not a discipline problem, and it is absolutely not a character problem. No matter how many times you've filed it away as one. Every time that you filed that away in your spirit, in your mindset that it's a character problem, it is not a character problem. Now, the thing about carrying it this way is that nobody sees it. That's not an accident. You made sure of it. At work, you can't let it show because it would cost you something. At home, you don't want to add to anybody's load, so it stays inside where it doesn't show up on anybody's face but yours. And I want to tell you, I want to share another little scriptural nugget from Psalm 56:8. And I am reading again from the New American Standard Bible. And it says, "You have taken account of my miseries, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book?" God keeps count of it. Not the part that you performed, not the version you gave people, the wandering, the tears that never made it out of the car before you walked into the house. He wrote them down, sis. He has a record. He sees what you're doing. He has a record of the part that of you that nobody else has ever seen. God knows. He sees. He sees all that you're doing while you have been carrying all that you shoulder alone in front of everybody, but just know that you've not been carrying it alone in front of him. God sees you. He knows your heart. He knows that you have a heart for caring. He knows what you're trying to carry. He sees you. He has the record. So here's what I want you to take with you. The tiredness underneath your good life is not evidence against you. And I want to say this again. The tiredness underneath your full life is not evidence against you. The tiredness underneath your doing life is not evidence against you. It is not proof that you're ungrateful or weak or bad at this. It is the honest weight of a woman who has been taking in everyone else's world all day, every day for years, and who never once got to set it down. That's not a flaw in you. And that's an accurate reading of what you've been doing. And you don't have to explain it to anyone tonight. You don't have to build the case or find the words or wait until someone asks the right question. The one who matters most already knows. He's not waiting for an explanation. He's got the record in a loving way. He sees you. He knows your heart for caring, your heart for service. He sees you. He sees you. He sees you. And he's got you. He's got your back. So before you go back to it, to your busy life, and you will, and that's all right. And I really actually should say, before you go back to your caring life, because that's really what it is. You care. Your life is made up of different parts, different puzzle pieces of caring. So before you go back to your caring life, I want you to take a landing moment together with me. Wherever you are, if it's safe to, let your shoulders come down, both feet on the floor. And I want you to say one true sentence, not out loud, just to yourself. And don't soften it. I'm tired, or this is heavier than I let on. Whatever the true statement is, say it once, then stop. Now notice, nothing happened. Nobody was hurt by it. You didn't take anything away from anyone by admitting it. It was true before you said it. All you did was stop spending energy hiding it for a few seconds. You don't have to say it out loud for it to be seen. This is what I call a landing moment. That's all it is. And you just did one. And as you probably noticed this, everything didn't fall apart. The ground didn't cave in. It held you up. And it will hold you up again tomorrow. Now, if this episode met you where you are, send it to another woman who's been holding a lot lately as well. She may not have the words for it yet either. And if you would like to take another step, get my guide called What's Yours to Carry and What Isn't at thebelowthecircle.com. That is thebelowthecircle.com. 10 answers to help you look at what's yours to carry and what's not. And as I always say, sis, nothing is wasted. And remember, I'm here on the ground and I see you from here. You've been listening to Below the Circle with Dr. Phyllis. Again, it's not too late to land. See you next week. Bye for now.